Shalom, Yasharala. I want to give infinite honors to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushua by Hashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to our teachers, the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to my fellow laborers in Yahweh Shah, pushing this truth across the four winds. On this topic, I'm going to go in about making your calling and election sure, man. Buffeting yourself, having a self-analysis of yourself day in and day out, praying and ceasing to see if you be in the faith, man. We go out and prophesy, we study, we go to build up the kingdom of heaven. Building up the kingdom of heaven is fishing for the elect and edifying the brotherhood. But you also, first and foremost, you got to have a self-analysis of yourself and work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, that you miss not the mark after you prophesied to others. All right? You got to make sure you're not going off to the right or the left. You got to make sure you're in the spirit. All right? You got to make sure you don't have an evil eye towards your brother. You got to make sure you're not weak in the faith. Okay? So you got to first and foremost have a self-analysis of yourself in this thing of ours. Okay? You gotta buffet yourself. You gotta pray without ceasing. Have a constant relationship with Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Okay, so I'm gonna start off in 2 Corinthians 13:5, and it reads, "Examine yourselves, whether you be in the faith. Prove your own selves." Okay, you have to look at yourself, man. You got to make sure you're doing what's right. Are you studying? Are you doing your videos? All right. Are you giving in to reading? Okay. Are you studying to show yourself approved? All right. Are you building up the young brothers up under you? Okay. Are you dealing with controversy through the spirit? You're not letting your emotions get the best of you? You got to examine yourself, man. All right? You have to examine yourself. All right? Prove your own selves. Know you not your own selves, how that Yahweh Shah, the anointed, is in you, except you be reprobates. You see what I'm saying? You got to be walking in the spirit, praying without ceasing daily. All right? And seeking Yahweh Bashim Yahushua while he may be found, and you fuck around and be a damn reprobate going off. All right? And a reprobate is somebody who don't have a conscience, don't know right from wrong. You'll think you'll be in the spirit and you'll be bugged out, going off to the right and to the left. So that's why you always gotta, go in that prayer closet and ask Yahweh Bashim Yahushua to take anything out of you that's not of you, that's not of the spirit, man. You got to do this daily. You got to pray that Psalms 51 prayer daily. Elder Ricard always tell brothers to do that. Okay? This is the book of Philippians 2:12, and it reads, "Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but only much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling." All right? You got to be having this self-analysis of yourself with fear and trembling. Because if the Most High is not with you during Jacob's trouble, all right, you're going to fear and tremble anyway. During the famine, you're gonna starve. During the drought, you're going to thirst. When the pestilence hit, it will hit you. All right? Yahweh Bashim Yahushua say he's going to protect his servants, that his servants shall eat. He say that a man will be a covert from the tempest, and he'll make a man finer than the gold of Ophir, the golden wedge of Ophir, more finer than the golden wedges of Ophir. All right? And those are the men that are working out their soul salvation with fear and trembling. All right, doing their due diligence to make the calling this election sure. Let me get that. This is 2 Peter 1:10, and it reads, "Wherefore, The rather, I can give diligence to make your calling and election sure. All right, you got to give your diligent. You got to be a diligent soldier when you're around here doing your Habba Shema Shai's bidding. All right, when you closing up the breaches, you have to do it with diligence. The scriptures say, written in the book of Romans, it's it written, be fervent in spirit and not slothful in business, man. Okay, so you got to be diligent to make your calling and election sure. For if you do these things, you shall never fail. All right. So if you add to your virtue, it's a lot of things Peter went into. All right. Godliness, brotherly kindness, charity, patience, temperance. All right. Godliness, virtue, knowledge. All right. You do these things, you'll never fail. So you have to have a self-analysis of yourself every day, man. Every day. This is 1 Corinthians 9:25, and it reads, and every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. So you gotta, when you come in this truth, you gotta have a lifestyle change. All right. And you gotta know that this is a psychological warfare that we're into. So your whole thought pattern, everything about you, your lifestyle, it has to change. Okay. And you got to learn how to master and be temperate in all things. All right. You learn how to be a new man. Okay. A spiritual man and not a carnal man. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we incorruptible. We learn how to be priests, king, holy men, rulers. All right. We learn how to be immortals. All right. And to do that, you have to be diligent. And you have to have a self-analysis of yourself daily. And you got to be walking in the spirit 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. I therefore so run. See, Paul's saying, look, I therefore so run. All right. I check myself. All right. Not as uncertainly. You see, not as uncertainly. You got to pray and fast, man. So fight I not as one that beateth the air. He said he makes sure he hits the mark. He works out his own salvation with fear and trembling. Okay, he examined himself that he may be in the faith. But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection. You see what I'm saying? That's what we're doing. You got to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. All right, you got to put this flesh in subjection because this flesh is our number one enemy. Esau's not your number one enemy. The nigger woman not your number one enemy. These chains of darkness that we're dwelling in since the fall are our number one enemy. All right. And Romans 7 getting in that topic. Lest that by any means, when I preach to others, I myself should be a castaway. And that's Yahweh by Shema Shah forbid, man. Okay. So we don't want to be a castaway after we went out here and prophesied all these years and rightly divided the scriptures all these years and taught other people, man. All right, we got to keep our eyes single, man. Keep your eyes single, full of light, okay? And I'm going to leave off with this example in the book of Ezra. This is 2nd Ezra 7. I'm going to start around 2 or 3. I'm going to get straight to the point. This is 2nd Ezra 7 and 3. And I said, speak on, my power. Then said he to me, the sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But put the case, the entrance were narrow and like a river. All right. See, to get into the kingdom of heaven, which is that wide and great place, you have to go through this narrow path. All right. So you got to put your body in subjection. All right, you got to learn how to be in the spirit 24 hours. All right, because that is only a narrow path or narrow corridor that only one man can get through. All right, you can't get another brother in the kingdom, and another brother can't get you into the kingdom. Who then could go into the seat to look upon it and rule it? All right, this is the kingdom of heaven. The elect men are going to be joint heirs with Yahweh Shai ruling, and these are going to be men that on this side had a self-analysis of themselves. He went not through the narrow, he could not come into the broad. See, we got to stick to this narrow path and do it daily. There's also another thing. A city is built and set up on a broad field and is full of all good things. The kingdom of heaven. The entrance thereof is narrow and set in a dangerous place to fall. See, that's why you got to be uh, walking in the spirit and not giving occasion to the flesh. To be spiritual minded is life. To be carnal minded is death. All right. And in this, we live in a carnal, wicked, perverse world where it's nothing but pitfalls and dire straits where you can fall, man. Okay. Like as it were a fire on one hand and on the left a deep water, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that could but only one man go through there at once. And that's why the scriptures say, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, man. All right. Only you can get yourself in the kingdom. All right. So therefore, you got to walk in the spirit. Don't give occasion to the flesh. Have a self-analysis of yourself. Pray without ceasing. Fast. Stay united with the brotherhood. And everything fear, man. Everything you do, fear. All right. So with that, Lord willing, to sit down was edifying to the hearers. I want to give infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Kakadash. And I want to give double honors to our teachers, the apostles, a great millstone. Kwam Yasharala, Abba, Abba.